Good morning. To all who are here in the sanctuary or connecting with us through technology or watching this after the fact, I welcome you to People's Church. I'm Susan Davis, my pronouns are she, her, and I serve on the board of the trustees. Worship today is led by our minister, Reverend Carin Bringelson, and our worship associate, Reverend Rosie Rimrod. We also have Judy Mickelson on piano, Matt Wild on internet outreach, and our special musicians, the Deep Dish Divas. Yay! So, all people of goodwill are welcome here at People's Church. As an official welcoming congregation, we celebrate and honor your sexual orientation, gender expression, and gender identity, as well as your race, ethnicity, and cultural background. We also celebrate and honor your journeys with faith and doubt, your comfort with and discomfort with money, your bodies of all sizes and shapes, your abilities and disabilities, both seen and unseen, your age and generational perspectives, and so much more. You are accepted just exactly as you are. A special welcome goes out to any newcomer joining us in worship today. And if you would like to be added to our mailing list, please contact the church office, or if you're here in person, fill out a green card, which is right here. Okay, there you go. So, and that's in the back of the pews. Place it in the offering plate, and it gets passed when it gets passed later in the service. Online participants are welcome to chat with everyone gathered on Zoom following the worship today. In-person participants are invited to coffee and conversation in the lower level following the service. If you have an order of service, please look at the back and consider if there is something you'd like to get involved with in this vibrant community. 2 reminders today. Our annual Easter egg hunt will be held directly after service today for the kids 5th grade and younger. I suppose it's inside. Okay. Okay, did everybody get that? Oh. Okay. Okay, so kids of all ages are welcome today downstairs by the kitchen when you want to do this. Okay, after service. Okay, all righty. So, next Sunday on April 27th, we are kicking off a series of gatherings for those interested in exploring membership at People's Church. Please see Megan Murphy Saylor to RSVP. Where's she at? Is she here? Oh, she just waved her hand. Okay, all right. So, all right, finally, we extend a great big thank you to the many volunteers who made today's gathering possible. Thank you to Megan Jones and the youth for preparing for the Easter egg hunt, Bill Hart and Terry Detterman for the sound system, and the greeters, Emily Halselstein and Rose Gabe, and to the kitchen crew headed up by Robin Meisler-Kubicek. With a sense of gratefulness for this time of being together, we invite you into a moment of awareness, which will begin and end with the ringing of our singing bowl.
Birdies fly with new ambition. Spring is in their song. Soon you'll find yourself a wishing days were not so long. If my thought is not defined, listen while I speak my mind. There ought to be a moonlight saving time, so I could love that honey of mine until the birds wake and shine. Good morning. You said there ought to be a law in clover time to keep that moon out over time, to keep each lover's lane in rhyme till dawning. You better hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, get busy today. You better croon a tune to the man up in the moon. And here's what I'd say, hey, hey, there ought to be a moonlight saving time, so I could love that honey of mine until the birdies wake and shine. Good morning. There ought to be a moonlight saving time to make the morning glories climb. An hour later on the vine, each morning, you sorta need a moon to bill and coo. An old back porch, a birch canoe, a parlor lamp in June won't do, I'm warning. I've heard the farmer say, I'll make hay while the sun is shining above. But when the work is done, night's begun, and the stars replace the sun, it's time to make love. There ought to be a moonlight saving time, so I could love that honey of mine until the birdies wake and chime. Good morning. There ought to be a moonlight saving time.
I offer these opening words from a UU minister of blessed memory, the Reverend Liz Strong. Out of the earth rises light, rises life, rises spring. May we join with the miracle that is springtime and enter into life with lightness and joy. Out of the Spirit rises faith, rises hope, rises love. May we join with the miracle that is Easter time and enter into life with hope and love. Let us resurrect this spring. Let us resurrect with spring. Let us resurrect with the Spirit and enter into renewed life as we gather into our time of worship today, this Earth Day, this Easter morning. Come, let us worship together. In the tradition of our Unitarian Universalist ancestors, we light a chalice each time we gather. And as Henry comes forward to light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you at home to light a candle nearby or to hold a warm intention in your heart. And as you are willing and able, please join in reading aloud our chalice lighting words. As together we say, You who have an eye for miracles, regard the bud now appearing on the bare branch of the fragile young tree. It's a mere dot, a nothing, but already it's a flower, already a fruit, already its own death and resurrection.
Please join with me in saying the affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please join in singing the gathering hymn, number 404, What Gift Can We Bring? Please rise if you're willing and able.
What gift can we bring? What present, what token, what words can convey it? The joy of this day. When grateful we come, remembering, rejoicing, what song can we offer in honor and praise? Give thanks for the past, for those who had vision, who planted and watered till dreams could come true. Give thanks for the now, for study, for worship, the mission that bids us turn prayer into deed. This gift we now bring, this present, this token, these words can convey it, the joy of this day. When wakeful we come, remembering, rejoicing, the song we now offer in honor and praise.
You may be seated. And of course, if you are young and young at heart, I invite you forward now for a very special time for all ages. It involves Easter eggs, Easter bunny ears, some plants up here. Bunny rabbits? Did you say bunny rabbits? Bunny rabbits. You can hop up here if you like. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello. So my question is, what do you think today is? Does anybody know? Yeah.
Easter.
It's Easter. What is Easter about? Wait.
God and Jesus.
So God and Jesus is one answer. Does anyone else? Yeah.
They made it up. They stole pagan traditions. So like, actually, it's ours now.
So they made it up. They stole pagan traditions, and actually it's ours. So who's they? The Christian, the early Christian powers that be, and who's? It's ours now. Okay, yeah. So there's a lot going on here. So in the Christian tradition, there's this guy named Jesus, right? And Jesus was a troublemaker, right? He was a teacher. He went traveling around. When he was young, he learned how to be a carpenter. But he traveled around and talked about what? Love. Being loving and kind, and that people were more important than what? Money. Can you believe that? And the powers that be did not like that message. People being more important than money? What? They did not like that. And in fact, they didn't like it so much that they wanted to have him killed. Now, he had a lot of friends. He had 12 friends who traveled around with him to teach the good word about love and justice and being kind. And those 12 people couldn't believe that he was going to be killed. But he was. And the way he was killed was by something called crucified. And that's how they did it back in the day. They nailed you to a cross. And so then, right around the time that he was killed was also the Jewish Sabbath. Now, why is that important? Right. Jesus was Jewish. He was a Jewish teacher. And his friends were also Jewish. And they weren't supposed to do any work, including taking care of a body of a loved one, on the Sabbath. So they had him put into a cave or a stony hill. And the powers that be wanted to push a big rock in front of it so no one would bother that criminal. And they guarded it. And so then his friends went and had their Sabbath. And early in the morning on Sunday, the women came with spices and oils to take care of his body. And when they got there, they were like, how are we going to get this big stone away? And it was gone. But when they went inside, his body was missing. And they were like, what? And then there's a story in the Christian scriptures that says, folks in bright, fancy clothes came and said, why are you looking for the living among the dead? And the story goes that he has risen. So that's the words they use in the Christian tradition. He has risen. Now, so that's what Easter's about. Does anyone know what's happening on Tuesday? Earth Day, yes. What is Earth Day? We celebrate Earth, yes.
And so we clean the earth.
And so we take care of the earth. We clean it up. We take up, and while we're cleaning the earth, we might notice things that are starting to grow again, right? And so I have some things here. I have some questions for you, like, how do we tell if something is living or dead? Or dead or alive? So first of all, we have a picture from a garden. And I'm wondering if you can tell how something is dead or alive in this picture. What do we look for? Color. So, yep. So there's some green. Green might be alive. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But also there is some gray, and that means that the part of the plants are dead.
There's some plants that are dead because they're gray or brown. Yep. And there's some dead logs around the perimeter of the garden, which is probably from the derecho that threw, were you around for the derecho? Yeah. Yeah. So the trees went down, and then they cut them up, and we made some garden around it. So come up here and look with me at this, and tell me, what does alive look like here? What two things are alive here?
It looks like if a plant is alive, it's probably gonna stick more up, but if it's dead, it's probably gonna move down.
So if a plant is alive, it's gonna kind of stay up. And if a plant is dead, it's gonna kind of be down. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Did I get that right? Okay, so here's my question. Is this dead or alive? What? What? Which is it? Oh, Master Gardener Marion.
Well, I'm not a master gardener, but all right, look more carefully at
Come
this.
look.
Pass it around. Be careful of your eyeballs, though, because it could get poked. What do you see there?
What do you see? It looked dead at first, but what do you see?
What do you see there?
Buds.
That's right.
There are buds on there. Okay, so the green things that are up look kind of alive. And then there's a brown thing with green on it that looks kind of maybe alive. What about this? Dead or alive? It's dead. Is there anything alive on there? Maybe a bug? She says it's dead. This,
Yeah,
it's crunchy. Yeah, that kind of.
can I?
Yeah. What about these things at the tip? What about the things at the tip? The seeds. Are seeds alive? Yes. Are seeds alive? Yeah. So here, what do you think this is? Dead or alive?
Alive.
Alive. Here, pass that around. These are marigold seeds. And if you plant them in the right environment, they turn into this, which is dead or alive? Very much alive. Yeah, it even has a flower on it. So there's a lot of questions we have. Okay, one last dead or alive question. What about this? Ooh. This is lavender, yes. It's a perennial. And I want you each, when we're done with the marigold seeds, which are potential of life, right? I want you to take a little bit of lavender and squish it between your fingers and get a sniff. Take a whiff. Yeah. Yep. You take a big breath in. Can you smell it? It smells like nail polish, she said. Oh, because you have nail polish on your fingers? Okay, maybe you need more lavender. Yeah. Yeah. So this kind of reminds me of like that time when, did you all get some? That time. If I had time, that'd be really good. But sometimes it looks dead, but there's still something in it that's giving us life and beauty and joy. Now can you smell it? Yeah. Oh, he says, yeah. He's not so sure of this. So that's what I think. I think being dead and being alive is kind of related. Everything's kind of related. Like, you can't have live things if you don't have dead things. You can't have dead things if you don't have live things. And sometimes you don't always know the difference between them. Even though what?
Even though it's kind of easy to spot.
It looks like it's easy to spot, but sometimes we get tricked into thinking something's dead when really it's alive, like this branch here. So that's what we're going to explore today. I need a little help with some Easter bunnies. If you want to color an Easter egg, you can do it two-dimensionally, or you can color it three-dimensionally. So you be in charge of these, okay?
Will you hand those out?
And you can hand these out.
You're going to help too.
And then I have some Easter eggs here. And these, all the pink ones go in one area so we have 36 eggs here that need to be distributed. Pink go together, okay? Orange go together, green, yellow. And while they distribute eggs to you all, we're going to sing together. Number 402. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together
As Unitarian Universalists, we hold shared values, including one called interdependence. This means we honor the interdependence web of all existence. With reverence for the great web of life, with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. It also means we covenant to protect the earth and all beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality, and justice. We will work to repair harm and damage to relationships. Our living tradition draws inspiration from the direct experience of transcending mystery and wonder, as well as from sacred, secular, and scientific understandings that help us make meaning and live by our values. Today's source of inspiration comes in the form of a participatory litany written by Lisa Marie Androli Steinberg. If you have an egg, you can open it now, if you haven't already. Inside, you should find a piece of paper with a number on it. It might be number 1 or any number up to including 6. Everyone with the one sentence will read it at the same time, reading along with me. The rest of the congregation will respond by following Reverend Carin and reading the response that will be on the screen. The 2 group will come next, and everyone will respond. The group 3 and so on until we get to the last number 6. Are you ready? Any questions?
So raise your hand if you have number 1.
All right.
You're going to be reading together.
So you're reading with me. Number 1, we celebrate the memory of winter sleep and the quieting of our souls.
And now we respond with, sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Number 2, we celebrate the return of color and the rebirth of wonder.
Sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Number 3, we celebrate the treasure of new life and the promise within.
Sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Number 4, we celebrate the human cycle of joy and sorrow and companionship of this community.
Sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Number 5, we celebrate the search for all that is sacred and the lifelong pursuit of truth.
Sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Number 6, we celebrate the promise of summer's beauty and how it will feed our souls.
Sing praises for spring, revealing holy love that grows from deep in our hearts.
Please join in singing hymn 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. Please stand if you're willing and able, number 61.
Lo, the earth awakes again, hallelujah, from the winter's bond and pain, hallelujah, bring relief and into praise. Hallelujah. And for dirges anthems raise. Hallelujah. How our spirits soar and sing. Hallelujah. How our hearts leap with the spring. Hallelujah.
Whew. Hallelujah. That song gets my breath going, right? You know, Easter is kind of everywhere this time of year. Just yesterday, did anyone else drive down Wiley Boulevard Southwest in the morning? I was driving down the boulevard and there were these groups of people waving on the corners. It wasn't a downtown protest, so I was like, what's going on? And then I saw that they were carrying these giant crosses. And I thought, And then, I actually thought something else, but I eventually got to that curious spot where I was like, and then I was able to see that it said on their cross, Jesus lives, which of course got me to thinking about what we're talking about here today. And how is that possible and how is it not possible and what does that mean? And I was like, I wish Unitarian Universalists stood on corners making people happy by having them wave. And I thought, what would we be holding? And I thought, a giant chalice. And I thought to myself, what would it say? And I think it might say, love liberates. Now, when it comes to Easter and my Easter memories from being a kid, I was definitely confused, especially about the Easter bunny. So I turned to my mom, who knew everything at that age, at my age at that time, and I said, Mom, how is this possible? Because bunnies are mammals and do not come from eggs. So, she probably relayed to me about the Earth's seasons and cycles and about pagan rituals, thank you, Fen, about rabbits and eggs representing fertility, about the abundance of life, and the rebirth of the earth that happens in the springtime. Her answer satisfied my curiosity at that time, and over the years I have come to notice those signs of fertility and rebirth that are prevalent around this time of year. After months of snow and cold and bare branches, we are once again noticing those little greens of spring. There is a joy in noticing that rebirth. The rebirth seems almost magical when things which looked dead, like these bare branches, can actually be quite alive and well when the timing is right. The Christian tradition uses that name of rebirth, uses a name of resurrection. And within the Easter story, we notice how things which looked dead, like Jesus' life and his legacy of love and justice and troublemaking, can actually be quite alive and well when the timing is right. Now, my seminary friend and colleague, the Reverend Vertus Robinson, had a different memory about Easter that he shared recently when he wrote this. When I was growing up as a holiness Pentecostal preacher's kid, I always looked forward to Easter time. In addition to the Easter egg hunt and the multi-generational program during the service that always included a play, the music was the best part. Every year, the one song that all the program participants sang together was, "Can't no grave hold my body down." The version we sang as a multi-generational urban black choir was taught by rote, and its arrangement was never on sheet music. Never. It was a call and response song that from beginning to end was spirited with fast foot stomping and hand clapping in true Pentecostal fashion. The fire, the joy, the celebration, I looked forward to singing it every year. When I became a Unitarian Universalist, he continues, that song was never sung. In fact, most UU songs aren't in the Pentecostal style and definitely not about graves holding bodies. However, in recent times, this song has come back to me, he says. Why? Why is it resurfacing after all these years when my theology has transformed as well as my faith? In an era of certain oppression, living our values calls me to resistance. Fear of harm, fear of death, fear of erasure, forced into closets, into stealth mode. Living our values calls us to action. The voice and guitar playing of Sister Rosetta Tharpe in her 1956 rendition of Can't No Grave Hold My Body Down inspires me to not fear harm when resisting oppression. For nearly 100 years, the triumph of Jesus' death has inspired Black Pentecostals to sing with vigor that we will rise, as they believe Jesus did. Jesus suffered for his beliefs. He resisted, he loved, and he died. It inspires me to not fear death when resisting erasure. We will not be forced back into closets or forced to engage our stealth mode. Why? Because can't no grave hold our bodies down. They will try us, but in love, we will rise. The joy of this rising up, this joy of resurrection, this joy of rebirth, this joy in resisting oppression is valuable for us to tap into. Yes, we need joy for our own individual bruised and aching hearts, and we need joy for our communities, for our congregation, and for our City Rapids area. Now, I wasn't here back in August of 2020, but I've heard lots of stories about that derecho, where people took shelter, how they risked taking video footage of the storm, what it was like to come out and find their car submerged in water, how the neighbors immediately got their chainsaws to help one another. Whether we are still rising up from that derecho, or still rising up from the pandemic, or still rising up against the chaos of a constitutional crisis, there is a lot of joy to be found in our rebirth, in our rising up. The joy is what's felt when we rise up together. The joy is part of what happens when we engage in community organizing, which is a form of rising up together. Like I mentioned last week, People's Church has an opportunity to do a type of community organizing that will help us and our neighbors rise up together. It will start when some people get trained through a group called Gamaliel. These professional community organizers will be working with People's Church alongside a dozen other congregations and nonprofits here in the Cedar Rapids area. This Gamaliel model of community organizing starts with sacred conversations. That is, sitting down one-on-one and asking courageous and curious questions. Questions like, How have our shared values of interdependence, transformation, and pluralism shown up in your life? What in your life made you care about this issue so deeply? How might we live compassionate lives with concern for others' motivations and needs in our common community? When we go deep with one another, we become connected to each other in ways that inspire us to rise up alongside our fellow human beings. The sacred conversations are just phase one of a three-phase process. So after we gather information through our sacred conversations, we will then move into strategic discernment, which leads us into design and implementation. And you will get to learn more about this exciting community organizing initiative in the weeks and months ahead, so stay tuned. Now, speaking of rising up, does anyone here have an Easter basket that they're going to collect eggs in? Okay. If not, where are our young ones? Because I have Easter baskets up here. Or maybe I'll just hold them up because we are going to do a blessing of Easter baskets. Come and get one if you want. This blessing comes from my colleague, the Reverend Lucas Hergert. Okay. There are many. It will look like you don't have many when you collect it in this. So let's imagine for a moment that our lives are like the baskets that our children will use after service to collect colorful eggs and candy. And as we welcome that imaginative connection, let us pause for a moment to accept a blessing. May the things that you collect in your basket, like painted eggs and colorful flowers and Easter grass, bring to you a new appreciation for beauty. May the things that you collect in your basket, like chocolates and jelly beans, bring your life sweetness. May your basket always be full enough so that you are able to share your bounty with others, especially those whose baskets don't contain as much. And may your basket be large enough to accept the occasional disappointment of an empty Easter egg, or perhaps it has a sticker inside instead of chocolate. May your life, like the egg or before it is opened or the ribbon before it is untied, offer up new surprises that bring joy. And finally, may your life, like the reeds of the basket, be interwoven with others, partaking in a community to celebrate all that is good. In the spirit of the little things that offer to us cherished memories, may our lives indeed be blessed. May we be so, and may it be so. Amen.
Each week, we participate as a community in the spiritual practice of generosity. The offering we collect today will go to support the mission of People's Church, which is leading compassionate lives through spiritual growth and just action. You have the option of putting cash or a check into the offering plate being passed here in the sanctuary. Or you can also make a check to the church, mail a check to the church, donate online at peoplesuu.org, or use the Vanco mobile app. And now, in the spirit of generosity and compassion, this morning's offering will now be gratefully given and lovingly received.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around, all through the night. Safe till the morning light. This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your holy place.
This pretty planet spinning through space, your garden, your harbor, your
spin us
holy
around.
place.
All through the
sun going down,
night,
gentle blue giant, spin us around.
all through the night, safe till the morning light.
Thank you. Thank you for all the ways you embodied generosity. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. We now enter into a time of prayerful meditation, a time when we're invited to silently acknowledge our great joys and deep sorrows. As we share our joys, may we hold each other in love. As we share our joys, may we see them rising up in resistance. For those who would like to come forward in silence, there are stones to place in the water or candles to place in the sand. Reverend Rosie will start by lighting a candle for all those who have been detained and deported without due process, as well as for all those impacted by war and fear in this world. And I also have a special stone today. If you're here in the sanctuary, you might notice there's kind of a hole in our pews, an emptiness. Russ Carista usually sits right about there. He died this morning at 2 a.m. His family has asked me to place a stone in our sacred water in his memory and honor. And so now, all who would like to come forward down the center aisle may do so and return to your seats by the side aisles. you are willing and able, will you please join me in a spirit of prayer or meditation? Spirit of life and love, web of the universe, we gather today with joys bubbling over and with sorrows weighing us down. Our symbols, these tangible candles, these tangible stones, remind us of the complexity and the wholeness of our life as we know it on this planet. Reminding us that all that is held in love when shared in community. May we be ever mindful that we are not alone. We are held in love. We are made to love. We are love embodied. May we rise. May we resist. And may we know deeply the joy that rebirth offers us each and every day as we get free together. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn today is number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. So please rise in all the ways that we do to sing together. Number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
Song above earth's lamentations, I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
You may be seated.
Please join in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And before we enjoy one last song for our postlude, I offer you this blessing. I send you off into your weeks to tap into that joy, which is part of our interdependent web of life, knowing always that you have enough and that you are enough. Blessed be, and go in peace.
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun? Are you having any laughs? Are you getting any loving? If other people do, why can't you have a little fun? After the honey's in the comb, little bees go out and play. Even the old gray mare down home has got to have hay. Hey, better have a little fun. You ain't gonna live forever. So while you're feeling gay, still okay, have a little fun, hun. Have a little fun. Why do you
Work and save and save,
Life is
full of ifs and buts.
You know the
Squirrels save and save.
And
What have they got? Nuts.
Better have a little fun.
Better have a little fun. You ain't gonna be forever. So while we're still okay, start today. Have a little fun, hun. Have a little fun.
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you do if you're blue? Have a little fun. Are you having any laughs? Are you loving and forgiving? What? It's up to you, so why sit and still have a little fun? Our pampered
Pets have no regrets,
just
sleeping the day away.
They
Bark and meow for treats and chow.
And when do they want it? Now. Time to have a little fun.
Time to have a little fun. We need it now more than ever. The best is yet to come. We're not done.
So why not
have some fun, hun? Have a little fun.